relationship. There's this story that's always been told, right? Chinese man sees mother and wife drowning. Chinese man jumps in the river and saves whom? Mother. Why? Rationale, only one mother. Wife can change. Western man sees mother and wife drowning. What does he do? Jumps in and saves wife. Why? Because it's this biblical principle, the priority relationship is that of husband and wife. Smart man says, teach both of them to swim. You understand? But this is it. I want you to realize that in our Chinese thinking, we have many thoughts that are contrary to the Word of God. The fact that a man has to leave the father and mother and cleave to your wife shows you one of the principles of marriage, that marriage is a priority relationship. In terms of the human relationships that you may have, marriage is number one. And it's the men who have to understand this, because the women, this is where the problems result, because the woman will be fighting with your mother for your love. And your mother will be, I had you for 20, 30 years, you know, I want to prove that my son loved me more than you. And then you create unnecessary problems for one another, and it will result. Okay, so if you're trying to be a godly wife, yet you notice why you don't know why you keep crying and crying and crying. Of course you won't scream at your husband, but you keep crying, it's still not good. He doesn't want to realize he married somebody who's weepy. So men, you must take your responsibility. Who leaves? The man leaves. You understand? You must decide how you do it, and if you really cannot, then you have to decide in some way certain principles that protects the priority of that relationship, so that you don't create problems for yourself. Okay? We can talk with this after you deal with that, because I need to go on. The second thing is, you leave your father and mother, and then you cleave to your wife. The word cleave is the idea of, conveys the idea of permanence, and we'll deal with that in the marriage course later on. The idea that you are of two pieces of paper being glued together, so that when you get married, God glued you together. Now, can you separate two pieces of paper glued together? Sure you can, but you tear one another up. So what does divorce do? Divorce tears each one up to shreds and tatters. And you must understand that there's, no matter how careful you are, you still shred one another up in some way. And that's why you begin to understand that if you're going to marry, please understand, for the rest of your life is death to independence. No such thing as independent living anymore. Always think to yourself, this man is going to be by my side every time I wake up. Women, can you bear that? And men, can you bear that as well? And so you have to deal with the realities of, you know, bad breath and snoring and whatever it is. You have to deal with all those realities. If you can't, then I suggest, please don't get married. Don't create problems for yourself and for another person and for any life that God may give to you. You understand? So these are realities you will have to deal with. And if you don't know how to deal with some of these things, and then what you have to do is go and ask an older couple who will then be able to advise you in a practical way how to deal with it. Remember, I'm giving you principles. So remember, it's a permanent relationship. We will deal with that and the lessons on permanence and divorce and remarriage. The next thing is, men shall become and women shall become one flesh. Now remember, why do you become one flesh? The original idea of becoming one flesh, oneness, is because what? Woman was taken out from man. You understand? And now when you get married again, you return back to that oneness that you were in together. You understand? Based on the original creation of man, woman being taken out of man, is this idea of when you get married, two again come back together to that oneness that you had. No division, no separation, no nothing. And so this is the beauty that you can have, that man and woman can come together into that oneness. All right, so priority, permanence, this is oneness, one in every way. And you must understand, it's just not one flesh physically, it's one flesh emotionally, mentally, and also one flesh financially. Can or not? It's easier to become one flesh physically than to become one flesh financially. You notice that. Wow, quarrel over money and everything. Women are always very smart. What's yours is mine. What's mine is mine. No, you need to realize financial principles. But of course, if your husband is a bankrupt, a spendthrift, and whatever, you need to seek the Lord to know how you can protect the children and the lives that He's given to you to upkeep, as well as yourself. You understand? So there are always certain things that you need to do because of sin. Because of sin, different concessions must be dealt with. Okay, so I'm assuming things are okay with you all in that sense. And the man and the woman were both naked and were not ashamed. And you notice, right, this is the idea of openness. So you have two P's and two O's, right? Openness and oneness, priority and permanence. So these are the basic 4 principles of marriage that you can draw from this thing over here. All right, so you have this part here. Let me just run through very briefly some of the things that you can learn with regard to the foundational truths for marriage in these 2 verses. There are 3 primary relationships: man and God, right? Husband and wife, and then parent and child. And of these 3 relationships, the most important is your relationship to God, and you need to realize that. So you have husband and wife and God. You think, oh, if we try to draw close to one another, we will draw close. The answer is no. Excuse me. When you draw close to God, you notice, right, you get closer and closer to one another. And this is why, if you are of the same faith, particularly since we are Christians, all of us, we hope, if you understand, the closer I get to God, the blessing that God does is He pulls us, husband and wife, closer together. You must realize that, and you must learn how to make use of your own faith in Christianity to tie and bind both of you together in this indissoluble relationship. So remember, most eternal and important, and it's an eternal relationship. Husband and wife is permanent until death do you part. I hope you understand that. Now, exceptions where divorce and remarriage, in what cases can they occur? We will deal with that much later. You understand? We're just establishing principles. Parents and children, your relationship continues until what? Marriage or death. So please, parents, this is the thing you need to do. Train up a wonderful son and a wonderful daughter, and when they're married, please tell them that's it. It's between you and your spouse. I had one wife came to me when she went back to her husband, crying because my husband, he says, go back, you've been married. Go, you know. He pushed her back to her spouse, so sure that she has no choice but to try to work it through. You understand? And you as parents mustn't interfere. I know of anyway, you know of stories where they love mother so much, they always want to go back home. And you must realize that women in particular, if you have this clingy apron string relationship with your mother, or your men, you have that, you have to learn to sever those relationships, because they are forming what we call another basic unit of society. The family is the basic unit of society, and let's make sure that unit is strong. Remember? And when you train, you build your family on godly principles, and you bring up children in the fear of the Lord, then you have a godly unit of society there. And you need to build more and more of these units. You understand? And so over here, the next thing is marriage, you understand, is the most important horizontal relationship. Why? Husband, your priority, remember, you leave. You leave your father and mother, and then you cleave to your wife. This shows you the priority of the husband and wife relationship over that of your wife. One practical thing I tell husbands is this, you know, whether your wife is right or wrong, especially when it's an argument between wife and mother, you need to side with your wife. Instead of telling your wife off and then, you know, allowing your what, and you say, if she's wrong, you can tell her she's wrong later on when you're dealing with it. At the moment, your priority is just stop the quarrel. You understand? And you have to tell your mom you're on your side of your wife, because what? I'm joined to her now, I'm starting a unit. What it will do for you is, at least it will, your wife's heart will be like, oh, okay, I never have to fight with you over your mother's love this time. It does settle a woman's heart. You men must understand it. This, to you it means nothing, but to a woman it means a lot. When she's secure in your love, then she'll give you more freedom, and she'll be more, you know, be able to flower properly. But most men don't understand that. Why do you want to quarrel with my mother? And you make her feel so unloved, because why? You're always scolding her about a relationship with your mother. You understand? Men, you must understand, because if you don't, when you do that, then you'll find that you can build something, and your mother will always love you. You must understand that, okay? So you don't run the risk of losing your mother love. After all, you're not going to sleep in the same room with your mother, are you? You understand? You're going to have to sleep in the same room with your wife and build a relationship with her, whereas your mother, you know, will love you and be there for you. And then you go back and you apologize for your wife and say, Mom, you understand now. God says I must cleave to my wife and leave you for her, but you have to help me. And when you explain to your mom, you explain to her, okay lah, then they come back next day, they'll be more at ease. We hope lah, huh? I'm speaking of an ideal situation, but you must understand there is a reason And husbands, you need to take the lead in this area and help your women, because we are very weak emotionally in this area. You can talk to other wives and they'll tell you the problems they have just the first few years, you know, in this relationship with their in-laws, and it's usually over the love of the spouse. Your husband for their mothers is always the problem. I don't know why. We women, but don't say I don't know why.